Hey, here's your fun facts of the day. So we'll do 10 of them. Gorillas burp when they are happy and contented. Better out than in, I always say. Hey, Fiona? Male, so boy, hippos attract mates, so try to get a girlfriend by peeing and pooping at the same time. Of course, they use the fancy sciencey words defecating and urinating. Okay then, please, adult and child men alike, do not try that. It will not help. Get a boyfriend or girlfriend. Really, anybody. Nobody is going to help nobody, so just don't. Let's see. A spider has 48 knees. Okay, so let's do that math. So we know they have 8 legs, because duh. If it was us, then we would just have 8 knees. So 48 divided by 8. So one way I do this sometimes, if I didn't already just have them all memorized by heart, I say 40 is 8 times 5, and then wait. 48, that's one more, so 6. So they have, and it says it right here, 6 on each leg. Guess that kind of makes sense the way they stand. Kind of bent over, like it's more sharp than when we do it. So that's number 3. Elephants have 4 sets of teeth during their life. When they're gone, the elephant will die as it can no longer chew food. But in 2004, an 80-year-old elephant was given a new lease on life by being fitted with a set of dentures made from steel, silicone, and plastic. Keepers have been keeping her alive through injections, but the dentures worked a treat. They had been keeping her alive. Because, I mean, as humans, if we lose all our teeth, even if we didn't get dentures, we have ways that we can make it where we can get stuff in, like blenders and stuff, where we can try and get stuff in, eat softer stuff, but they don't have that option. But, so 4 sets of teeth, and of course we have, unless I'm crazy, we have 2. We have the ones we get as babies, and then we lose as children, and then the ones that we grow back in their place as our adult teeth. Scientists have found that painting cows black and white can reduce bites from fleas. Okay, I'm going to look at that one, because that sounds like something I'd read just randomly on a AI Facebook thing. Let's see. I put in on do some cows get painted black and white? And it says, yes, the black and white pattern you're thinking of is most common in Holstein cows. Wait, but that doesn't, I said get painted, not like they're just born that way. Okay, so initially from my first point, it says, yes, black and white pattern is from Holstein cows, so that's your basic idea. When you see a basic cow drawn for the cartoons and stuff, it's a Holstein cow. So they're the most recognizable dairy cows, originally bred in the Netherlands, so the Dutch. They're black and white, sometimes red and white. Patches are genetic, not painted. Each cow's pattern is unique, kind of like a fingerprint. Farmers don't paint them. Their coat comes from selective breeding for dairy traits. So they're not even trying to actively get that look. It's just that the stuff they're looking for in the way they make milk happens to also coincide with them having that particular look. Other breeds like Jersey, Brown Swiss, and Guernsey, sorry, I'm about to sneeze, cows. Apologize, I sneeze like a grandpa. Are usually shades of brown, red, or tan, not the classic spotted look. But then I said, okay, but like, do some purposefully paint cows that aren't that color for mosquitoes. And so it says, that's a real thing. Researchers in Japan actually tried painting black cows with white zebra-like stripes. So they painted in black and white, but not in the black and white we think of for cows, where it's the big blotches, like if you were drawing a picture of a cow. They did zebra stripes. They found that the striped cows were bitten by about 50% less mosquitoes compared to solid colored cows. The idea comes from zebra biology. Scientists think stripes confuse insects' vision, making it harder for mosquitoes to fly to land. It's not common practice on farms yet, but it's being studied as a natural chemical pest control method. So the stripes specifically. So I wonder if there is any, if they look at it, if they had a set of all these different cows, and they had the ones that are just normally the Holstein ones, the spots, not striped like they're painting them, versus the ones that aren't at all, just one, that are just one color. If that, they would find even just a little bit difference in how much they're, they get bit or not, or if it's only the, look, we're just doing stripes, that's the only thing that's working. It's very interesting. But yeah, because the way they wrote it here, it sounds very kind of misleading and like it's a complete fake. But, let's see. Okay, I need this one. So, cheetahs don't roar. They meow like domestic cats. Because usually the bigger cats, most of the time they roar. You can either roar or meow, and that's the only two options. There's not both. And so they meow instead of roar. And I will say cats usually only meow when they're babies. It's like their version of, so I don't know how that translates with wild cats, like cheetah, or with the ones that actually do roar. Because from what I've read and researched for cats, and that was Sherlock, by the way, for those of y'all who don't remember, they usually, it's their version of like when we cry as babies. We cry as babies because we can't talk and nobody understands us, so all we can do to get our feelings across and get people to listen to us and give us attention is scream. Ah! That's all we can do. So cats do the same thing, usually when they're talking to their moms as kittens, but once they start like getting the little things of like the way you move your head or your tail, whatever little silent things that cats do to get attention, they stop. But because us humans are too stupid to speak their language, they have to keep meowing at us. So if they were just by themselves, they don't meow near as much. No, they may hiss or something when they get mad at somebody, but meowing is just an us thing. So just like if, say, if they were giant cats who were our owners and they didn't understand us, we'd be screaming and crying too, because there'd be no point in learning to talk, or at least talking to them, because they're not going to get it anyway. So man, So yeah. Okay, I know. And also the thing about them is, it's funny. That's one way that they're more like our cats here, but there is one way that they're actually more like dogs than cats in general, compared to like, say, a lion or something, other types of big cats, because cheetahs also, they don't run the same way. They run more like dogs than they do like cats, and they can't retract their claws, because cats usually go, if you look at the way they do, if I'm remembering this correctly, like both the front and back leg go at once in one direction and the other. And dogs, it's a different thing. Whereas if you look at the cat, like your regular old cat running, and like other ones like lynxes, bobcats, tigers, lions, unless I'm mixing one of them up, they will all run the same way generally, and then a cheetah will run in a different way, which is also interesting since they're the fastest of them. Okay. Oh yeah, this one I knew. Where'd it go? I just saw it. It's about the gorilla. Hold on. Am I crazy? Well, the whole point that I was going to make is that gorillas are called, scientifically, the science, like the Latin name, like how we're Homo sapiens, is, if I see it in here, I'll let you know, but it's supposed to be gorilla is the one for actual gorillas. So, weird. Because it was just right here. Instead, I'm just saying, wait, where the... I ain't cat butt. What's I'm missing? No? Yeah, there's that. Oh, there it is. It's right. For some reason, I keep seeing it. I keep seeing the Obama one, but not the other one. The Latin name for the western lowland gorilla is, imaginatively, gorilla. So I guess there are things that are related to gorilla that have gorilla in their scientific name that aren't gorilla. Okay. But it's funny, that's right next to former U.S. President Barack Obama, has 13 species named after him, including Lasioglossum obamai, a Cuban bee, Placida Barack obamai, a sea slug, and Nystulus obamai, a rather striking puff bird in the Amazon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Wow. It's funny. We think of ourselves being the normal, like, duh, so you want to be out when the sun's out. But 70% of all mammals are nocturnal. So most are actually awake at night. So we're the weirdos. That's why cops eat donuts, or the stereotype is them eating donuts is because, of course, some cops have to be up at night, and before they started 24-hour, where you can go and get something to eat in the middle of the night, the donut shops ended up being the only place that was open at some point when they opened them. And so they would just go there all the time because that's all they had. And so that's where the stereotype came from. Yep. Oh, yesterday was Save the Koala Day, so this is perfect. Koalas win the prize for the doziest animal on Earth. They sleep 20 to 22 hours a day, which you would think something like the sloth or something, but then again, it's slow. That doesn't mean it sleeps that much. And then it probably doesn't have time to sleep because it has to just do that, go into the bathroom or eating or something. Okay, so frogs don't drink. Instead, they absorb water through drinking patches on their abdomen and underside of their, so they'll just be leaning on something. It's like, what you doing? I'm just getting a drink. So how you doing? Because they can still, if they could talk, they would still be able to do it while doing that. Okay. Okay, so apparently the giraffe isn't the only one that can clean out its ears with its tongue. The okapi, also known as the forest giraffe or zebra giraffe, because it's kind of got a striped thing and it's like this weird horns and stuff like that, has a long, and it's probably because of the tongue thing, has a tongue so long that it can use it to clean out its ears. Nice. Oh, aw, elephants are so friendly. Elephants walk at the pace of the slowest member of the herd, so they're not going to leave you behind. They're going to let you catch up. They're like, no, we're not just, I guess if they could do math problems, they would be sitting there being like, no. We're going to wait on Jimmy, or Sarah, whoever, and then we'll keep going. Oh, and we'll do 2 more. In Oklahoma, USA, it is illegal to make ugly faces at a dog. It's like, hey, be nice. Of course, that leaves a question. What if it's just your face? So it'd be like, hey, don't try to make an ugly face. That's just rude. I'm just existing. Not my fault. 133, and then I'll do 2 more because one of these is really interesting. So, zebras can't sleep unless another zebra is close to them, so I guess they need a cuddle buddy with them. I need my friend, otherwise I can't sleep. Giraffes, and lastly, giraffes have this, No, we're doing 2 more. I'm sorry. It's just, these 2 are just too good. So giraffes have the same number of bones in their neck as humans do, which is 7. So even though their necks are really long, they still have the same number of bones. They're just stretched out, which makes sense because they started out with normal looking necks. But their food and stuff, they're getting higher and higher. So the ones that had longer necks, which there'd be no reason for them to randomly grow another bone out of nowhere to get longer necks. The only thing that would happen is just like when we get taller or something, we don't have more bones or anything. When cats get bigger or some animal gets bigger, usually it's not because it suddenly grew more bones. It's because slowly people are born with longer versions of whatever, and then over time it gets a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer, because those ones are surviving more. And then lastly, because I had 2 guinea pigs myself, separately, sadly, because one did not live very long for reasons that were not my fault. Lenny, and then Zach, who I had for quite a long time. In Switzerland, it's illegal to own just 1 guinea pig. This is a caring piece of legislation that ensures the welfare of an animal that needs social interaction. So kind of like the zebras, they're like, no. We need our friendship, even when you're not here to play with us. We need somebody with us. So perfect. And I'm sure Zach and Lenny, if I could have done that, would have loved each other very much. So, y'all have a good day.